Hello and welcome to the 2021 State of the City Address. As you can see, we're on video again this year. Hopefully we can be all together next year. First, I'd like to thank everyone for their support and perseverance through this pandemic. It's been a challenging year for everyone. However, cities, like individuals, can be resilient. And that's why I can say to you without hesitation that the state of the city is very good. Let me explain why. The key indicator is that our property values are up a lot. I know a lot of other communities are having the same experience, but ours have been up a lot more for a little longer. For example, from 2014, our property values have been up over 26%. Dunwoody's up 22%, Duluth up 21%, Norcross around 13%. Statewide, property values are up around 15%. And a lot of companies are relocating here, bringing more jobs. A lot of the individuals who come here, they want to start up new businesses. Our current unemployment rate is about 3%, down from the 6% last year's pandemic, and very near the 2.9% from 2019. For comparison, the state's unemployment rate is around 4%. One of the reasons for the recovery of our local economy has been the city's small business grant program funded by the CARES Act. Last November, we received about $5 million. By the end of the year, we had distributed $3 million to COVID-impacted small businesses and spent the balance on air filtration improvements in City Hall and Curiosity Lab. We will continue to stimulate our local economy this year with funds from the ARPA Act. We will receive $16.4 million over the next 2 years. We've already received the first $8.2 million, finalizing what we're going to spend it on. But we will fully fund the small business grant program, and this time we'll be adding nonprofits and homeowners. Now, why don't we take a look at some of the things we've actually accomplished this year and what we're going to be doing next year. First stop, Town Center. Events at the Town Center continue to be very popular. By carefully following CDC guidelines, we were able to hold events most of last year and all of this year. Recently, the Peachtree Corners Festival was held here for the very first time on Town Center. It was a huge success. However, we do recommend everyone be vaccinated, and if not vaccinated, wear a mask. We want to keep our citizens safe. Other than events, the most popular thing at the town green has been playground equipment. As a result, we'll be adding a little more playground equipment over by the Veterans Monument, this time for the older kids, including a little more covered seating. We'll be installing it in the winter, and it should be available in the spring. One of our most exciting projects is the Corners Connector at Town Center. It's a skywalk that goes over the stream all the way around to the parking lot behind Cinna Bistro. There's also a bridge connecting one side of our development to the other side. There's a set of stairs that will go down to the stream. There's a boardwalk along the stream. We'll be doing stream restoration, and the area around the stream will be done in native plantings. One day in the future, that will be our botanical garden. We're at the Corners Apartments off Peachtree Corners Circle, near where the Crooked Creek Trail crosses Peachtree Corners Circle. Now remember from last year, the Crooked Creek Trail, it's about 3 miles long, goes all the way from Spalding and its Sandy Springs Crooked Creek Park clear around to Tech Parks. It's a very long time frame project. That's basically because it's got a lot of environmental permitting, a lot of land acquisition sites. And so what we're going to try to do is break it into 2 pieces. We've applied for a grant to fund a 1.5 mile track from here up to Tech Park because we think it'll be a little bit faster, and that'll be phase 1 of this important project. We're here on East Jones Bridge Road, where the city is planning a segment of the Corners Connector that will connect Jones Bridge Park with the existing multi-use trails on Peachtree Parkway. They're going to take the regular sized sidewalk and widen it to 12 to 14 feet. This is part of a larger project called the Chattahoochee Riverlands. It's an Atlanta Regional Commission project that will stretch all the way from Noonan, Georgia, south of the airport, clear up to Buford Dam. We are honored to be considered and included in this kind of a large regional project. As you can see from the highlighted map, we continue to make steady progress on the Corners Connector. As a reminder, in 2015, we conducted a Livable Centers Initiative study where our citizens indicated that multi-use trails were the most desired public amenity. Nationwide, homes near trails are quicker to sell and on average sell for about 10% more. We're now here at Curiosity Lab. As a citizen, you probably wondered, is it really working? Does Curiosity Lab really generate economic benefit for the city of Peachtree Corners? The answer is yes. Let me give you a couple of examples. Within the past 2 years of Curiosity Lab's existence, it has influenced a decision by a lot of major companies to relocate here, bringing thousands of jobs. Most recently Intuitive Surgical, but CarMax, Solient, and Brightree, just to name a few. Also, this term in economic development, activity creates more activity. What that means for us is, if you're here testing your technology on Curiosity Lab, you're here for one day, you're probably going to eat at one of our restaurants. If you're here for a couple of days, you're probably going to stay in one of our hotels. If you like it here, you're going to want office space and ideally a home. That's how economic benefit is generated from Curiosity Lab's activity. Let me give you a few more specific examples. We're now here at the logo wall in Curiosity Lab. We have about 20 active partners ranging from T-Mobile to Georgia Power to Georgia Tech, as you can see. We also have about 14 active research projects ranging from the first 5G rollout in the metro Atlanta area to GPS-enabled scooters. We have 3 autonomous vehicles that are currently on the track, and the other day I got a chance to witness an autonomous robotic package delivery sponsored by one of the major package delivery companies. We're now here in T-Mobile space in Curiosity Lab. In February, T-Mobile, Georgia Tech, and Curiosity Lab formed a partnership called the 5G Connected Futures Program that's looking for the next big thing in 5G. T-Mobile and Georgia Tech are going to manage the program, but it will be housed here in Curiosity Lab. 30 startups have already applied. We're now here at the Hilton on Peachtree Industrial. In June, Qualcomm, Jacobs Engineering, and Curiosity Lab formed a CV2X partnership. That's cellular vehicle to everything. That's because in the smart city of the future, everything will talk to everything else at 5G speed. But why am I in front of the Hilton? That's because for the first time worldwide, a CV2X conference was announced. It's going to be held in the spring in 3 locations: Frankfurt, Germany, Silicon Valley, California, and Peachtree Corners, Georgia. This is a very prestigious group to be included in. So what that means for us is, over that time period, over 1,000 visitors will come by and stay in our hotels and eat at our restaurants, giving a much needed boost to our COVID-impacted hospitality sector. We're now downstairs in Curiosity Lab. This year, Atlanta was designated a French technology hub for any French startups that wanted to launch their products into the North American market. The significance for us is that the French-American Chamber of Commerce moved their headquarters from the French consulate in downtown Atlanta to Curiosity Lab to best support any of their businesses and startups that had an interest in intelligent mobility or smart city technology. Their offices are right behind me on the wall, as you can see. One of the best examples of the city's resilience during this pandemic has been the recent announcement by Intuitive Surgical, a $4.4 billion medical device manufacturer, that they are expanding their East Coast headquarters right here in Peachtree Corners. This means a $500 million investment by 2024 and the addition of about 1,200 jobs, average salary about $130,000. We are told that this is the biggest deal in Gwinnett County's 200-year history. In addition, they'll be building a state-of-the-art training facility to train surgeons on the Da Vinci surgical device. They estimate it will be 16,000 hotel room stays per year, a much-needed boost to our COVID-impacted hospitality sector. Now, you probably already heard this announcement, but I publicly want to thank the Governor's Office, the State of Georgia, Gwinnett County, Partnership Gwinnett, but especially our city staff led by Brian Johnson, who worked very, very hard on this project. Since Paul Duke's day, Peachtree Corners has always been a major regional technology job hub. We have great homes, great schools, great amenities. So we believe that Intuitive Surgical will not be disappointed with their new home. We're now here at the corner of West Jones Bridge and Peachtree Corners Circle at one of the sites of our 26 license plate reader cameras. Gwinnett County Police has access to over 600 cameras in the Gwinnett County area, and our 26 sites were strategically located to help them best monitor our streets and highways. So far, we're told results have been good. For example, suspects and subsequent arrests in a number of shootings in our area have resulted from the images from our cameras. In addition, over $1 million in stolen property has been recovered. As a result of this success, we're adding an additional 25 cameras to monitor streets and highways and focusing 76 more cameras exclusively on the town center. We are committed to keep our citizens safe. We're at the mansions at Sandy Springs at the intersection of Spalding and River Exchange. Gwinnett County, Sandy Springs, Peachtree Corners have a joint project here to widen Spalding between Holcomb Bridge and Winters Chapel. This is a very important project, much needed from all the congestion we have in this area. As you can see, there has been significant progress made over the past year, and if everything goes well, it'll be completed by the summer of 2022. We're also part of a joint project with Georgia DOT and Gwinnett County to improve the intersection at Holcomb Bridge and Spalding. This is a very congested intersection, as everyone knows, and they're going to address it by improving the left turns at River Exchange and Weatherburn Road. This is a complicated project, and we appreciate the county and state support for our city. We're now here at the intersection of Bush Road and Medlock Ridge Road, where we're adding dedicated lanes to Bush Road and upgrading the traffic signals. This is a much needed project for the people, especially living on Bush Road. Weather permitting, it will be completed this year. And now we're here back at City Hall. I hope you can see why I believe the state of the city is very good. There's a quote I like that describes what I think we're facing. It's your reaction to adversity and not the adversity itself that defines how your story will be told. The story of Peachtree Corners for this year is that we are successfully managing through a pandemic while helping those who have struggled, and we're going to continue to do that until we're all safely on the other side. In closing, let me encourage everyone again to be vaccinated, stay safe. Thank you for your time. I hope to see you soon.